Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts can be natural, but since the 1800s and the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, mainly due to the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas, which releases heat-trapping gases known as greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. As previously mentioned, the burning of fossil fuels for energy has released greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This has created a greenhouse effect, which is trapping heat in our atmosphere and causing the temperatures to rise. Finally, agriculture plays a major role in emissions, as farm equipment uses energy. Another main emission from farms is methane, a powerful greenhouse gas produced by cows.
This is my first interview with my climate action teacher, Jessica. Most about climate change.
I think the people who are most affected by climate change are those living in developing countries. So countries, I suppose, the global south, countries south of the equator, where they maybe don't have the resources. They're most affected by famine and drought. Perhaps their houses aren't sturdy enough to withstand extreme weather events.
And you think climate change is talked about enough in the world?
I think climate change is talked about an awful lot, but I think talking about it isn't enough. So yeah, we see it in the news, we're hearing about it, we're studying it in school, but we're not taking action. I don't think that the people who can take action are taking action.
What do you think are some solutions to climate change?
I suppose if you think global, act local. We're all global citizens. We all have to play our part. And if everybody, takes a little step, be it recycling, walking more, it all adds up. And then I suppose put pressure on those in charge to make policy changes.
Climate change has already had an effect on Ireland. The most evident effect can be seen in our temperature. Temperatures rose by 0.7 degrees Celsius between 1890 and 2008, and by 0.4 degrees Celsius between 1980 and 2008. Ireland's temperature increase has also affected Ireland's natural environment. It has changed the growing season, affecting farming, and has also increased the number of animals suited to warmer temperatures. We have also seen an increase in the frequency and impact of storms in the past few decades. If the rate of global warming continues to increase, and as the climate continues to change, there could be severe effects on our country. As an island, we are vulnerable to the rising sea levels, with coastal regions also facing issues of flooding. This specifically poses a large threat to Ireland. The effects climate change will have on our water resources will have a major impact on our world and our lives. Flooding is an increasing issue as our climate is changing. Compared to the beginning of the 20th century, precipitation events are stronger, heavier, and more frequent. Droughts are also becoming more common. We are using more and more water in agriculture, and snowpack, which is an important source of fresh water for many people, is becoming less and less reliable as the temperatures warm and there is less snow. Luckily, many companies such as Google, Tesla, AIB, Amazon, HP, Dell and more have taken action and created policies to protect our environment and to help in fighting climate change. Who is denying it? On the other hand, oil companies like BP, Exxon, Chevron and more are denying climate change and actively fighting efforts. They do this as a switch from their fossil fuels to more green energy would destroy their businesses and cost them large amounts of money. The impacts of climate change can be felt today by me, by you, by your friends and by your family. The food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe and the weather we experience are all affected by the rising global temperatures.
Hello everyone, this is my dad. He works for AIB and we're going to be interviewing him about his company and what they do for climate action. So for the first question, I'd like to know what policies do your company do for climate action?
Well, they do quite a bit. So AIB's created a €10 billion climate action fund to help people across Ireland upgrade to more energy efficient businesses, homes and cars through its green lending process.
2. What do you know about climate change as a company?
Well, the energy we consume in our homes, how we live and how we do business, all leave a footprint. So the bank has raised over €3.5 billion for green projects supporting renewable energy, sustainable business and affordable energy efficient housing. In 2022, the bank signed an agreement with a developer of renewable energy products called NTR to source energy from 2 purpose-built solar farms in Wexford. The farms now provide about, let's say, 80% of the bank's electricity needs to service its retail office network.
And so, in your policies, what are the aims?
Well, I suppose The aim is to reduce the carbon footprint, green the business, help people with loans, for retrofitting their houses and any other kind of energy efficient initiative they want.
So, and then what actions do you take as an employee to meet these goals?
I suppose at a personal level, you can always do little small things. Reducing your carbon footprint is a big one, I suppose. So, how you might get transport to work. Me personally, I work from home 4 days a week, so that's reducing my carbon footprint. And the one day I do go into the office, we have an EV.
Luckily, there are steps you personally can take to fight climate change and to reduce your carbon footprint. As most of our electricity and heat is powered by fossil fuels, saving energy in your home by turning off the lights, lowering heating, switching to LED light bulbs and changing how you use your appliances can help to reduce your emissions. You can also change how you travel. Walking, cycling or taking public transport all help. We can buy fewer things, shop second-hand and recycle what we can to prevent unnecessary production of items. There is also new technology in solar and wind power which can be used to power your home. You can switch to green energy or have some solar panels installed. You can also switch to an electric car which will reduce your day-to-day emissions as these do not pollute the air around us. As we've seen, climate change is not a distant threat. It's happening right now, affecting our communities, ecosystems and our way of life. But the future is still in our hands. Through awareness, action and innovation, we can still make a difference. The choices we make today will decide the future of our planet. It's time to act. Go out there and make a difference. Earth is counting on us.